She knows for sure that her boss's son has drugs at their home.
Ooh.
And she's wondering, do I tell my boss about this? Do I keep it to myself? If you got something going on in your life and you want to get some advice from people that are way smarter than us, our Bert Show fam, hit us up at thebertshow.com. Kristen has the email.
Do I tell my boss that her son has drugs in his room? I'm a teacher, and my principal has 2 boys. The younger son is friends with my son, and they occasionally have sleepovers/play dates. Recently, my son came home and said that he, and I'm hoping she's using a fake name, Leo, snuck into the older son's room so that Leo could show him where his brother keeps his pot stash. My son told me it looked like a sandwich full of pot and was hidden in a sock drawer.
A sandwich full of pot?
Maybe she meant to put sandwich bag.
Okay.
That would make a little more sense.
A pot sandwich.
Yeah.
Never thought of it.
I'm copywriting it.
My question is, should I tell my principal about this or just let it go? Although she and I are friendly, our relationship is more on the professional side. I'm also aware that she has caught this son with drugs in the past, so this probably wouldn't come as a huge surprise. It would be very awkward to tell her. And what if for some reason my son isn't telling the truth? Ugh, please advise.
1-855-BERT Show. Abby, what are you doing?
I know that you have a professional relationship with this person, but I also think if I was a parent, I would want to know. And maybe that's because I'm a little bit of a control freak. And if I had kids running around, I would want to know what they were up to at all times, like my mom did. But I think it would be really, I think it's maybe an opportunity to take your professional relationship to, I think intimate's the wrong word, but I think you could almost establish like a little bit of a layer of trust if you came to this principal and gave them information about their child that I think most parents would want to know.
I think I'm too progressive in this area here to give a really good piece of advice. Because to me, it's like no different than you finding that he has a beer in his room. So, and I certainly wouldn't go to my boss and go, hey, I just want to let you know that your kid has a beer in his room. It's just the way I feel about weed.
Oh, no, I would. At that young of an age to be consuming that while your brain is still developing and stuff like that, I think it's important they know.
They're in high school?
She said,
is that what it is?
No, she didn't. It doesn't say.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have the ages.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you. I'd probably stay out of it.
I think I'm staying out of this one. I mean, if I felt like I had more than just a professional relationship, I'd consider it. But knowing that that's the case, and for me, with her saying that she probably knows this already because she's caught him in the past, I don't think that I would get in the middle of that at all. I'm minding my business.
No, I'm telling her.
Yeah? You going in, huh?
Yeah. I would do it. I would try to do it in a professional manner. This is information in our state, an illegal substance that's in your son's room. And again, not knowing specifically the age. And, I think I just think it's important information that she knows. So I would go, listen, my son told me something. I don't know if it's true or not, but I think it's important and this is what he told me. And so just please do with that information whatever you want.
Yeah, I think that's the difference for me is that alcohol at some point is going to be legal for your kid, maybe in a couple of years. Like, let's say he's 16. If you live in a state where weed is illegal, period, that could lead to consequences that are much more serious than just like an MIP. And especially like he could be dealing. Like to me, like as a parent, my mind would go to like so many different conclusions that I think it's just a little bit more serious than finding a beer or a bottle of vodka.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you guys are probably right.
and I'm just putting like, as a parent, I would want to know. Like I would hope. Like if Cassie had this information. Okay, granted, I know we're really good friends, but just like we do work together. If she had this information, I would hope she would tell me.
Yeah, I know I'm treading. We do a mainstream radio show, so I'm trying to give a mainstream answer. But if I have to be completely authentic, like I've had the talks with my kids before about drugs, about weed, about alcohol. So if somebody came to me and said, hey, I just want to let you know that, your kid has some weed in his room, that it just wouldn't entirely shock me. And it certainly wouldn't send me into some kind of panic.
Well, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But then that means there's no harm in giving that information.
Yeah.
And here too, it's not like they found a joint. they found a sandwich bag full of weed. So he might, if he has a sandwich bag full of weed, might not all be for him. He may be dealing at school. So that's just important information to have.
Well, first of all, I'd have to sample it to make sure it's safe. Then we have to have a talk.
You, like I said, you do with this information whatever you want. If you want to take it away and use it for yourself, hey, more power to you. You're the one that has the developed brain.
I think your guys' advice is better than mine in this case. I will say that.
People on the phones are saying mind your own business.
Hey, Jasmine, good morning. You're on the Bert Show. Hi.
Yes, I would tread very lightly with that subject because that it's my principal and she's kind of my boss. And if I bring that to her attention, she may be embarrassed about it because you guys said that he had issues with the substances before. Mm-hmm. So it might be embarrassing to her. I would let it be. As long as my kid is doing what they're supposed to be doing, that is up to her.
Yeah, forget about the village, man.
Well, you do have to take into consideration, is this a kind of person that's going to take this information and be grateful, or are they going to retaliate? Like, if you told me this about my kid, I would be like, thank you so much. I will take care of this. I'm not going to retaliate, and I'm not going to come after you for just telling me something that my kid may or may not be doing.
Yeah.
That always concerns me because I feel like you can't really tell if the person is going to take it like I appreciate that, or if they're going to take it and almost be a little bit like you jealous, like you are trying to sabotage my family. No, thank you. And now you're the problem.
Hey, Wendy, good morning. You're part of the Bert Show.
Good morning.
Hi.
So I will preface this. My mother is a teacher. My father is a police officer. So I was raised in the drugs are bad. Drugs are bad. But with all the advancements in science and knowledge that we have about marijuana, how do we know that the mother isn't allowing their child to use marijuana to treat anxiety or depression or pain for that matter?
Yeah.
Well, she said in the email, I'm also aware that she has caught this son with drugs in the past. So
that's very, very plausible. But as children, I'm a mother of 4, so I get it. Children develop as they get older, obviously. Who's to say this child isn't self-medicating with marijuana?
I don't know.
Well, if that's the case, I need to know that about my child.
Yeah, I would need to know. And if I was the mom and I knew, I'm taking the controlled substance and dishing it out. They're not keeping it in a sandwich bag in a sock drawer.
Yeah.
When your kids are old enough, will you be going through their rooms and stuff when they're not around?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go through it while they're there.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yep, and they'll know. Like, I'll talk to them, but if you're in my house, I have unless it's a private journal, that's off limits, but anything else in the house, I get to go through.
The Bert Show.